वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम. Yes, so can someone recollect what is it that we saw last? A small recap in a minute or two. Anything you can recollect from what we saw yesterday? Any point? Yes, please. We looked at the relevance of the Gita and the introduction. Yes. Anybody? Please feel free to share. Yes, please. Yes,
Uh,
anybody. Yeah.
Yesterday we saw that Bhagavad Gita is the ladder to the consciousness,
Ji.
and after knowing Bhagavad Gita, as you said, we might go a little closer to Veda,
Ji. Absolutely. Vedas and also the Upanishads.
Upanishads.
Gita is called an Upanishad in itself. They call it Gita Upanishad. They say
And
Sarvopanishado Gavo, Dogdha Gopala Nandana. Means all the Upanishads are like the cows. And there is a milker of the cow that is Krishna. And who is Partha or Arjuna? He is that calf who is drinking the nectar, which is Gita Amrita. Yes, sir. Please continue, madam. Yes, Meghaji.
yeah, and we saw how many people used Gita in their life. Few of them like
Ji.
Mahatma Gandhi ji, Bal
Mhm.
Gangadhar Tilak, and
Yes,
many.
yes.
And what is Mahabharat like? It's a dharma
Okay.
yuddha,
Ji, ji.
which has taken place in Kurukshetra.
Wow. Yes, yes. So in Kurukshetra, the Mahabharat battle was going to
Yeah,
take place.
and
All right. Yeah.
how Duryodhana and Arjuna, like Krishna didn't had given a choice for Arjuna and Duryodhana to choose, and then how Arjuna chose Krishna and Duryodhana chose army of Krishna.
Ji. Yes. And so there, there is no other option, but a battle has to take place, isn't it, Ji?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Fine. Thank you, Meghaji. Anybody would like to add anything more to what Meghaji has shared? Otherwise, we'll begin. Yes, please. Anybody? Any other points you felt like adding? Gita is
As
relevant for,
a
yeah.
psychoanalyst,
Yes,
he, men-
Vinitaji?
he mentioned that Krishna is like a psychoanalyst.
Yeah. Krishna is a model of psychotherapy that is being studied by psychiatrists. How does Krishna work and psychologically change Arjuna? Because Arjuna goes through a full roller coaster of emotions. They are visible in the Gita. Different emotions he is going to get. How do we handle emotions? The real challenge is always not in the books, isn't it? It's actually when you are experiencing it. So right now Arjuna is going to experience something in the battlefield, and the way Krishna handles it, it becomes a lesson. There is a shloka in the Gita. We will come to it afterwards. Yat yat acharati shrestha. What the best people behave by their examples, by their actions. People learn from them. So that way we can even learn from Krishna's behavior. Psychiatrists are trying to identify that. If they find that they crack the method, they will be able to deal with a lot of problems from depression to anxiety to insecurities, all of this. So let us see. All right, Ji. So that is one relevance for modern times, isn't it? Bhagavad Gita for us. Maybe we will not be. We are also fighting some Kurukshetras. Many participants shared. They are in the legal courtroom between brothers. Battles are taking place over property. Their emotions come to play. Same kind of factors we will see coming to play in Mahabharata. All right, let us, without delay, we will begin. So, right now, we are going to quickly move into the wonderful kingdom of Hastinapur. There, inside the palace, Dhritarashtra, the blind emperor, powerful but blind. Now, whether this blind is symbolism, that is something we'll have to see. So, he, the blind emperor, he walks We can watch him walk confidently. Vidisha ji is saying something. Yes, Vidisha ji. Yes, moral injury. Yeah, that was one more aspect. Many times we have this question about our decisions. We carry our guilt with us. That gives us sleepless nights sometimes. So that one research paper is there where Gita is talking about how we can deal with all of it. So all right, let us now, without delay, enter into the Gita. Let us visualize Dhritarashtra, the blind emperor, powerful but in a feeble voice. He tells Sanjay, who has got Divya Drushti, ability to see what is happening in the battlefield. We begin with the first shloka of the Bhagavad Gita. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Please listen to this shloka with a lot of care because there is a big secret embedded in this shloka. If somebody can find it, it will be fun. It can actually tell us how to avoid the Mahabharata also. Let us see. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेता युयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत Sanjaya. The blind emperor Dhritarashtra asked the oracle, gathered together in Kurukshetra to battle, assembled eagerly to prove their mettle, the Pandavas and my Kauravas, poised for a fight. Oh Sanjay, what happened there? Share me your divine sight. I'll repeat the English lines once more. The blind emperor Dhritarashtra asked the oracle, gathered together in Kurukshetra to battle, assembled eagerly to prove their mettle. The Pandavas and my Kauravas poised for a fight. Oh Sanjay, what happened there? Share your divine sight. All right, Juiji has immediately put his yes. So what is special in this? What is this? What is betraying? One very big emotion is being betrayed in the emperor. Can someone tell me? Yes, please.
Possessiveness.
Possessiveness, isn't it? Mama Kaha Pandavaschaiva. Dhritarashtra is the uncle of the Pandavas, isn't it? His brother's children. They're also his children, isn't it? They're also his children. But he says, my children and the Pandavas. Meaning, when the father has only planted this divide inside, if the seed is come from here, what will happen? That seed will grow into a big tree, isn't it? That is probably one of the reasons Duryodhana was harboring hate because that division is there. He says, what happens between my Pandavas, I mean, my Kauravas and the Pandavas? There is a nice Sanskrit Subhashit which says, I am Nijaha Paro Veti Ganana Laghu Chetasam Udara Charitanam Tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The one who is having a broad-minded approach or one who is having a broad mind, such a person can see the world as one family. This is a very important principle. Beyond blood also. But here, okay, I think Raj Rupaji has written partiality, which is his symbolic blindness. Yes, it is symbolic, isn't it? This is blind means this is the blindness, isn't it? Not the physical visual impairment. I have a friend who is an excellent journalist who is visually impaired, but I never knew she was visually impaired when she took the first interview and afterwards, only later on. So visual impairment is just one lack of one sense. It's something like some people have extra senses in some other places. It doesn't make such a difference. But here, this blindness is symbolic. And how many Pandavas are there?
Five.
Five, isn't it? So again, symbolic of our five senses or indriyas, they will come in the Gita. So the Gita is actually having a lot of symbolic meaning, but the very first verse tells us how we can avoid Mahabharats in our life. Many times we feel, isn't it? He is my friend, so it's okay, chalta hai. This person is my child, so I will not be very strict. But that person's child should be should be given a punishment, but not my child. This is all what we can say, a partiality which is slowly making us blind. Let us remember Dhritarashtra. Let us ensure no new Mahabharat start in our home only because of our partiality. Let us be what we can say, as Vidisha ji says, unbiased. Yes, let us continue. Sanjay
Yes.
now reports. Yes, somebody wants to add something? You're welcome. Yes, please.
Hari Om. Shashi, can you please repeat the explanation for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, please?
Yeah, there is a Subhashit which says, I am Nijaha Paro Veti. This person is mine. That person is another person. He is away, maybe because of ideology, because of thought, because of so many factors. People kind of create a divide, isn't it? This person is mine. That person is not mine. I am Nijaha Paroveti Ganna Laghuchetasam Udara Charitanantu. The who is having a great, wide or broad-mindedness. The one who has a great broad-minded approach, that person understands that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, as how Swami Vivekananda went, isn't it, in the conference in Chicago? He said, what did he say? "Oh, my sisters and brothers of America." So this broad-mindedness, if you see Tukaram Maharaj also had talked about the same thing. The world is my home. Hey Vishwachi Maze Gara. The entire world is my home. This feeling. This will allow us to get a greater perspective. We will see later on in the Gita also. What is this? What we can say, Sarvatra Samadarshinaha. I think some people, participants are finding it difficult to log in, but I am unable to see any. Oh, is it? Kaivalyaji said it's something Anishwar's quote. Yeah, I think I attributed it to Tukaram Maharaj. Yes. So, some people who are not able to attend,
Sir,
I'm not able to
mm,
see them. You can ask them
sir,
to probably check.
yes,
Yeah.
sir, one of my friends, Renu, she is unable to join. उसने 2-3 बार
But,
ट्राई कर लिया बट वो एंटर नहीं कर पा रही.
Acha, you can probably then ask her to try on YouTube then, the link on YouTube,
Okay,
because
I
I
will.
don't know why it is not working.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
tell her. Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So, yes, as we go into now the second shloka, Sanjay Uvacha, right from right from the we're going to enter into what is the Kurukshetra. दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्. Sanjay replied, seeing the Pandavas' army approaching, King Duryodhana then began speaking. His teacher's attention he sought to invoke to Dronacharya. The following words he spoke. So here we are now into Kurukshetra, and Sanjay is speaking, reporting to Dhritarashtra. So the Pandavan army is approaching. In the battlefield, King Duryodhana, he is going to speak. Who is he speaking to? He is speaking to Dronacharya. Anybody knows Dronacharya? Yes. Who is Dronacharya?
Teacher of the
Yes.
Kauravas and Pandavas. Guru
Okay,
of
common teacher of both Kauravas and Pandavas, isn't it? He was a great teacher. He taught both of them how to hold their weapons. But he is on whose side?
Kauravas.
He's on the Kauravan side. You see, the teacher has already, teacher should be unbiased, isn't it? But now he has gone on to the opposite side. Imagine fighting against your own teacher, how difficult it is. People say I can fight with anybody, but not those who are my own people. I can't stand against them. And look at the Pandavan side, they're having their own people on the opposite side. Now, Duryodhana, who is Duryodhana right now? He's the boss, he's in charge. He is speaking to his military commander, Dronacharya. What does he say? Pashaitam Pandaputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Bhimati. O Acharya, behold and cast your glance at the Pandavan army's battle stance. The sons of Pandu and Drupad have thus arrayed. See the battle formation that they have arranged. Because he knows Dronacharya's skill, Dronacharya's wisdom, Dronacharya's great insight. He says, look at the battle formation. What is the view rachana which has been created by his by the opponents, and how does he address them? He says, "Oh Acharya, look at this. Look at the battle stance of the Pandavan army. See how these kids, these children of Pandu and Drupad, see how they have arranged. Look at their battle formation." Now, my question is this like a dialogue of a very namra shishya to a guru? No or yes? Anybody? What do you see from the bhava in the dialogue? Do we see a lot of reverence? Yes? Anybody? Yes, what do we see here in this?
Feeling of superiority.
Arrogance.
Yeah, okay, arrogance,
Arrogance.
superiority. Yes, he's like, I am in charge. Guru, I just want your skill. Use that for my purpose. I want to use that. See here and tell me. That's what he's saying. He goes on further. This also shows, you see, sometimes now because of attachments, even Guru has to now listen here to an arrogant Shishya. Normally, what is the dharma of the Guru? He has to give the right teaching for the Shishya. If there is arrogance, the Guru will not spare. It is something like that. But now you see, even Guru is in a bandhan because of some kind of compromise has taken place. So the Pada is no more appearing that way right now. He's just their military leader and teacher. He goes on further saying, Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. Here stand in the battlefield the mighty warriors, the great military heroes and archers. To Arjuna and Bhima, they are equal in skill and might. Yudhana, Virat, and Chief Drupad are all ready to fight. Now, has anybody read this book called God Talks? God Talks with Arjuna. Anybody? In that, this each and every character of this Mahabharata has been described in a symbolic manner. Means each, like we said, Duryodhana, we don't need to think twice. First thing comes is arrogance. Like that, each of now we have Virat, we have Drupad. The symbolic meaning of all of them has been described. It is as if it is just a game of forces, and each one is playing a different role at different place. Each has a conscious purpose and existence. But now, for our study, since our study is going to be more related to our practical everyday life, we are going to focus on only two characters of the Gita, that is Krishna and Arjuna. The other characters, though they have a backstory in the Mahabharata, you can actually see there is an index which I have shared the PDF version. If you want the physical book, some people like to hold the book in hand. Physical book also is available. You can see that character and probably study it later on. We'll just look at the names. Right now, you see Arjuna and Bhima equal to him. There is Virat, there is Drupad, and Yudhana also. Apart from that, who is there? दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरोजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च शैप्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः. Along with them are also lined the valiant Drishtaketu, the king of Kashi, and Chekithan, and the most brave amongst men, Purujit, Kunti Bhoj, and Shaivya, all warriors brilliant. Ah, yes, Pujaji has written who is Yudhana, Virat, and Chief Drupad. That is what I said. Mahabharata. We have so many references. I'll share that screenshot of it if you want the glossary. We have all the characters and their some short intros have been given. So let us continue. So just look at the names right now. If you want, you can just note them down. You'll have there's a beautiful history behind each of these names also. Actually, you have names for their weapons also. You have names for their conches also. And there are stories behind the conches also, each of them. So, due to shortage of time, we will not be looking at all of it. Our focus will be even you see Arjuna and Krishna, each of them have so many names. Arjuna will be referred to by Dhananjaya, Gudakesha, Parantapa. Each has a different meaning, each has a different significance, like Krishna also. Rishikesha, when you're going to spread happiness. Another is Madhusudana. So many such names are there, but for our dialogue purpose, because right now our aim is to just look at it in terms of our everyday lives. So we will call Krishna as Krishna, Arjuna as Arjuna. Maybe once in a while we'll look at their various names as they come in the shloka. But otherwise, the characters, most of them who are being introduced, we can just keep them in our memory. So that yes, there is Virat, there is Yodhana, there is Drupad, then there is Drishtaketu, the king of Kashi, Chekitan, Purujit, Kunti Bhoj, Shaivya, all of them are warriors who are all brilliant. That's what Krishna is. That is what our Duryodhana is telling to Dronacharya. Yudhamanyushcha Vikranta, Uttamaujascha Viryavan, Saubhadro Draupadeyascha, Sarva eva Maharathaha. Each of them are Maharathis. Uttamaja the strong, and the achiever Yudhamanyu, the son of Subhadra, the young Abhimanyu. Also marshaled are Draupadi's 5 warrior sons, all exemplary generals in their own bastions. So, what is it? All the warriors, though less in number, it is not going to be a walkover. It's not going to be easy because each of them are experts in their own fields. Somebody may be an ace archer, another may be having a great experience in the mace. What we have nowadays in specialization and super specializations, isn't it? In the medical field. Something like that. Here they have Rathis, then Maharathis, then there is something called Adirathi. Each of the Maharathi had a honor of having a flag of their own. The Maharathi had a different, it was like a battalion of their own under their command. So each of these are being commanded. He's saying, I'm just introducing these generals who are prominent on the Pandavan side. It is required, isn't it? That time it was Dharma Yuddha. They would identify the positions of the opponents, they would see their strengths, and then decide, ki chalo, I as Maharathi will challenge that Maharathi. Foot soldier would fight a foot soldier only. No, there was a parity. No fight after sundown. Sunrise, Shankhnaad, then finding your opponent, then the battle begins. There were very strong rules. That is why it was called Dharma Yuddha. So let us see now. That we can understand, wanting to understand the opponents or wanting to share about the opponents. But now Duryodhana does something interesting. He says, Asmakam tu vishishta ye tani bodha dvijottama nayaka mama sainyasya sanyartham tan bravimite. O best amongst Brahmins, let me now confide and introduce the great warrior standing on our side, the prominent among the generals and leaders who stand ground to lead our armed warriors. Now, why is he introducing his own army people to his guru, Dronacharya? Anybody? What do you think could be the reason? Because I've shown you who's there on that side. They're all good. But now look, I'll show you who is on our side.
Confidence building.
Confidence building. Kalpana ji, confidence building, or he's having little less confidence and he wants to boost it.
Yeah, inferiority complex.
Okay,
To
some sort of
show
insecurity.
insecurity.
Okay,
He's boosting his own ego.
boost his own ego. But he has got so many lakhs of soldiers more. Still, he knows that it is not a cakewalk, isn't it? Can be a risk. These opponents are going to be difficult ones. Yes, this also shows that many times when there is a famous phrase, isn't it? Chor ke dadi mein tinka. Somebody who does wrong is having in the heart that feeling inside they know they have done
Conscious.
somewhere wrong, and that is visible. So here he is now arrogantly commanding his guru, and he's telling, see here, and I want to, I want to right now see who are my opponents. Okay. So next, one more question. Here he says Dvijottama, Dvijottama, the best amongst the Dvijas, or best amongst Brahmins, it has been told. What is the meaning of this? Anybody knows this Dvija? What does it refer to? Many people say it is the thread. It is a sacred thread that is worn. He is considered best among Brahmins. But what is the symbolism behind it? That wearing of a thread is symbolic of a second birth. When a student goes and born twice, right? Rightly said, Rajrupaji. When a person goes and identifies a guru, the new birth takes place in the life for that person. It is said to be a new beginning. When a guru is found, Shishya's life gets a full transformation. And here, Guru Dronacharya is called Dvijottama because he has given new lives to so many people, isn't it? So many have learned. They have learned about Shastra. They have learned about Shastra also from the same Guru. That is why he's saying, listen, listen, he says. I will tell you now who is standing on our side. All the heroes. And how does he begin? He says, you are there. You are also there on our side, as if his mind is reminding, You don't forget, you have to support my side only. Because this happened. You won't believe the Pandavas. They said, we will still meet once before the battle. We will get the Ashirvad of our gurus. And the gurus also give a Ashirvad, except they don't say Vijay Bhava because their dharma is preventing them. But their hearts are full of love for their children. They feel these Pandavas are like their own children. They say, fight against us, fight with all your strength, all the very best. Only they don't say Vijayi Bhava, but their heart is already blessing them. So Duryodhana has that insecurity also. What if Guru only decides to change sides? Party badal di to? So he says immediately, see who is there? It's you. He reminds him. He says, Bhavan, you are there. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Krupascha Samitinjaya Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadattis Tadhaivacha. Yourself, the mighty grandfather Bhishma, Karna, and the undefeated Acharya Kripa, each greatest amongst masters, matched by none. Also are Ashwathama, Vikarna, and Somadatta's son. He says, see, you are there. Who else is there along with you? We have Pitamaha Bhishma. Anybody knows about Bhishma? Something about Bhishma? Why was he powerful? He's very old, isn't it?
He had taken a vow to be of allegiance to the throne of Hastinapur.
Yes, yes. And he was so powerful. He was so powerful that death also could not touch him, is what it is believed. His, what we can say, yoga bala, his
Ichamrityu.
tapa bala. Yeah, Ichha Mrityu. In later on in 8th Adhyay, we will be discussing death. That time we had asked the question, what was Bhishma waiting for? Somebody said he was waiting for Bhishma Ekadashi. So Bhishma Ekadashi was named after Bhishma, but there is something special. He had that knowledge. He had knowledge of this, how to leave the body as well. And unless he wishes, his mrityu will not come. Some yogis reach that state of consciousness. That was Bhishma, and Bhishma was a juggernaut. Nobody could stop him once he is in his flow. So that Bhishma is also there. Apart from that, there is Karna. Many would say Karna is better than Arjuna. He will defeat Arjuna just like that. Along with Karna, who was there? There was Krupacharya. Krupacharya was one who never lost a battle. Not a single battle was lost by him. There was Ashwathama, son of Dronacharya. One of the reasons why Dronacharya also had this Moha, Putra Moha was one Moha which was a Moha which trapped the Guru Dronacharya. So, what about all of us? We should also be careful of which Mohas are there and which are trapping us. There was Vikarna also. Then there was a son of Somadatta. There's Somadatta as well. He goes on further. Let us look at this line. Anyecha bahavaha shura madarthe tyakta jivitaha nana shastra praharanaha sarve yuddha visharada. Many other great ones have come to partake, sacrificing their lives to battle for my sake. The advanced specialists of all forms of weapons have come to battle, all of them victors and veterans. How does this sound? Huh? All of them have come to die for me. Has everybody come out of love for Duryodhana? Oh, what a nice Duryodhana. I love Duryodhana so much, so we will come sacrifice. Have they come out of love, out of adoration, out of respect, or out of bandhanas, allegiances? But look at the arrogance when he says they have all come to sacrifice their lives, as if he is making a prophecy only right now. They are all going to sacrifice. For whom? For me. All of them are specialists. All of them are victors. All of them are veterans in different fields. Like we have specialists in different, like we saw in medical field, and there's a MPhil, there's a PhD, like that in Shastra also, and in Shastra also we have specialists. So these were all specialists in different weaponries, each of them experts in their own field. Krishna goes on. Sorry, Krishna has not started. Duryodhana goes on. He says, Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma virakshitam paryaptam tvidametesham balam bhima virakshitam. With Bhishma as guardian, our army is unmatchable, fearless in combat, and looks highly unbeatable. He says, see, our army is having Bhishma. He's like the backbone of our army. And because Bhishma is present, this is an army which has no, what we can say, no crack in the armor at all. It is a perfect army which cannot be beaten by anybody. It has no match. It cannot be compared with any other army also. And it is not defeatable also by anybody. Nobody can defeat it. That is the power of Bhishma, and Bhishma is the trump card in our army, is what he is saying. Immediately. What is this? What do we say when somebody says this cannot be compared with anything? That means there is no similarity, also, isn't it? You cannot equate it with anything. But right now, he immediately brings an equation in the next part of the shloka. He says, as compared, he says, as against the army that Bhima has guarded, his side appears less formidable and limited. He says, yeah, look at Bhima's army. Bhima was not so strong to be compared to Pitamaha Bhishma. Bhishma is in his own league. But what is happening here? Duryodhana is raising the value of Bhima in his own mind right now because of his insecurity. This is what happens because of insecurity. We create lot of new demons inside of our head. And look at this. Duryodhana is now elevating his own opponent. What does he say further? He goes on, he says this, he says, Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avasthitaha bhishmameva bhirakshantu bhavantaha sarva evahi. And so to all of you, I thus request and ask to perform this singular and important task. Stand your ground during the battle and protect the revered Bhishma, whom we so respect. So this is the order. Order of whom? The order of the king. To whom? To all the senapatis, to all the leaders, including his guru. He has given this order. What is the order? He says, protect Bhishma at all costs. He's actually telling them, you want to die, but don't lose this, stand ground. You have to do this order which I am giving you. You must protect Bhishma. My question is, does Bhishma need protection? Yes or no?
No.
No, isn't it? No, but see again, vulnerability he is only creating. He has he's an army which is so perfect. He could have just said, Guru, take the lead, take me ahead. I'll just do what you say. Instead, what has he done? He's ordering his guru, do this, go there, do stand there. And then all the other heroes also he's saying, listen, make your formation in such a way that Bhishma remains protected. Because of which Bhishma also cannot participate because of the same thing. Now, this is something which is a unnecessary aspect which comes into. Yeah, Kaivalyaji says he needed protection from being cheated, especially from Shikhandi. Yes, if you see the Mahabharata story. But the question is, Duryodhana, if he had allowed the experienced ones to lead, it would have been a very different battle. But there are so many ifs in Mahabharata. If only Duryodhana had understood somewhere, like in the first shloka which we saw, if only Dhritarashtra could think of Pandavas as also his own children. If only he could have held the ear of Duryodhana at the right time, saying, this is wrong, I will not tolerate it. But unfortunately, nothing like that happened. So now we have come to a position where the battle is there. But in that battle, also, what we see is in arrogance, people become more insecure, and that insecurity, they make very wrong decisions. That is what is visible right now. What happens next? Tasya sanjanyan harsham kuru vruddha pitamaha simhanadam vinadyochaihi shankham dadmau pratapavan. Grandsire Bhishma, the Kuru clan's eldest, whose very presence enthused even the strongest. Like a king lion, he sent out the fiercest roar, and the sound of his battle conch sparked a furor. So what happened? Well, Pitama Bhishma, he gives out the big Shankhanad, his long mane, white hair, it looks like a lion only. And how is his presence? His presence is so electrifying that heroes feel stronger in his presence. It's like just this person's company. I think we've all experienced that, isn't it? Some people we meet and we feel, "Arey, wow, I feel so energetic. I feel so nice. I feel such positive vibes. I want to keep those vibes with me." Like that feeling comes. That was how our great Pitama Bhishma was. The extra powerful heroes would start feeling. Suddenly they feel like they get a boost of energy just being in his presence. And he gets the man of the first Shankhanad. The conch is blown. And how does it sound? It sounds like a big roar of a lion. Yes, Vidisha ji says everybody feel protected under Pitama Bhishma's guidance. It is like that. That is why he's called Pitamaha, the one who is raising everybody and protecting all of them. Let us continue. And what happens after that? After that, Tadha Shankhascha Bhairyascha Panavana Kagomukhaha Sahasaivaabhyandhanyanta Sashabdas Tumulo Bhavat. Next echoed cymbals, conches, and cododrums, and all the horns, trumpets, and kettle drums, all at once in a singular cohesive sound, and their noise proliferated a tumult around. What happens then? Krishna says, which is reporting is going on by Sanjay. He says, after Bhishma's Shankhanath, the others started. They started Tata Shankasha Bhairyascha. There is cymbals, there is a conch also, there is a cymbal also, there is a drum, there is the horn, there is a trumpet, all different types of instruments are there. They're all at once in a singular cohesive sound, and their noise proliferated a tumult around. What happens when too many sounds come at one time? It becomes,
Cacophony.
yeah, cacophony only, isn't it? And it's you cannot discriminate or distinguish which sound is coming from where. It's suddenly as if there's a full superposition of all the sound waves and there's just one big sound. Kavita ji said commotion. Yes, in English there's a word called tumult, isn't it? Anybody knows the meaning of it? Tumult. Anyone?
Noisy.
Noisy. Okay. Vinodha ji, can you guess the Sanskrit word for the same sound? For the same
It sounds like this
tumult?
tumult something.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is the same. Tumula. So in English also, the word is meaning the same thing. Sanskrit was there before English, isn't it? So the word is there in Sanskrit language with the same meaning as well. So that was what happened. A great commotion ensued after that. But why do people make these kinds of sounds in the battlefield? Anybody? The
Moral,
purpose of this? Yeah.
moral boost.
For attention, diverting attentions.
Okay. Yes. Vinitha ji said morale boosting. Shivalila ji said for diverting attention. Whose attention?
Mm.
Opponents.
Opponents' forces. Opponents have to feel insecure. For means I think we all know the listening to
Yeah,
sounds,
alert,
listening to
staying alert.
mantras, becoming alert.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is also ready. Savdhan, get ready
yeah.
for the battle. That is true. But also, peaceful sounds when you hear different Sanskrit rhythmic mantras, it brings a quiet and peace also, isn't it? But the same way, if the sound is a little different, it alters the state of peace also. So one side is to boost the morale of your troops, and the same side is look to the opposite side. It is like a challenge. We have had some experiments of Vedic mantras and the effect on children. So we have seen children with hyperactivity becoming calm. But then there are some mantras which can be used for children who are hypoactive. Those mantras will make them more active also because that is the nad, that is the sound in it. So this is the reason for the Shankhanad. This is the best, happiest moment for Dhritarashtra, probably, because he is hearing, wow, what a wonderful, we can say, spectacle from the Kauravan side. They look more powerful, looks like they are going to win. But Sanjay is not really an unbiased reporter. He has a slight tilt towards the Pandavan side, though he is completely with Dhritarashtra. We can obviously, he's like our modern day reporters. They are not neutral, isn't it? They start a debate with a already their direction is visible. Something like that, Sanjay immediately, as if he's just seeing Dhritarashtra smiling, He's not happy. He says, wait, picture abhi baki hai. He says, Tataha, Tataha Shvetair Hayer Yukte Mahati Syanande Stitau Madhavaha Pandavaschaiva Divyau Shankau Pradadmatuhu. Then, in a magnificent chariot drawn by horses white, Arjuna and Krishna came into my sight. Both both sounded together their conches divine, seated in their vehicle, splendid and fine. So Krishna says, in a magnificent, Sanjay says, in a magnificent chariot driven by white horses. It's a beautiful chariot with gems. White horses are driving. Who is the charioteer? Who is the Sarathi? It is the great Yadav, Emperor Yogeshwara, Sri Krishna himself and Arjuna. Both are there. And he says, I see a beautiful sight of a very shant Krishna holding the conch in his hand. And there is Arjuna also. He's also lifted his conch. Then the Shankanath from the Pandavan side begins in response to the Kauravans. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjayaha Poundram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha. Sri Krishna, his God-gifted Panchajanya, and Arjuna, the divine conch Devadatta. And then the most fearsome Pandava, Bhima blew the mighty Poundra. So Krishna says, Sri Krishna, you see each of these, Sanjay, I'm always sorry, I've got the habit of saying Krishna says, so I'm saying that for Sanjay. Krishna has not started speaking. He will start speaking a little later on. Arjuna has to be ready to listen first. So right now it is Sanjay speaking. He's saying that Krishna had his conch, which was Panchajanya. You want to note down these names, you'll find nice stories for each of these conches. And Arjuna has got a divine conch, Devadatta, given by the gods himself. And then the most fearsome Pandava, Bhima, blew the mighty Poundra. Just 1 second. This Bhima was considered a very powerful, titanic, what we can say, a very powerful Pandavan. His conch is also having a same name also. It is something very, his conch also, if you see the size of his conch also was like him. It was huge. And it was, somebody's asking, can we use these names for naming baby? All right. Yeah, you can see, but better, there are so many factors which have to be taken into consideration, isn't it? For naming a child. Yeah, but you can. These are all wonderful names. But please go into the details of it because root words are there. What is the purpose? Sometimes you see, according to nakshatra, also those names are selected. What are the alphabets? It has to start with all of it. But anyway, these are all good names. You can have it. My friend brought a very huge Shankha. He called it Poundra only because it was like Bhima's Shankha. So all of them have started the Shankhana. The return has begun. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakulaha Sahadevascha Sughosha Manipushpakau. And then Kunti's son, King Yudhishthir, sounded his conch Ananta Vijay, and the brothers Nakul and Sahadev, respectively Sughosh and Manipushpaka. Kashyascha Parameshwasah Shikhandi cha Maharatha Drishtadumno Viratascha Satyakishcha Parajita. So all, King of Kashi, Master Archer, War Chief Shikhandi, Drishtadumna, Virat, undefeated Satyaki, Drupado Draupadeyascha, Sarvashah Prithvipate, Saubhadrascha Mahabahu, Shankhan Dadmu, Pruthak Pruthak. Drupad, mighty Abhimanyu, and Draupadi's all sons, O king, from all directions. Their conches bellowed at once. O Dhritarashtra, all these heroes, no, from all directions. From all directions, they started blowing the conches. unable to say which direction the sound is coming. It seems to be suddenly, just like the Kauravan conches. But Sanjay says something interesting. Let's look at the next shloka, the 19th one. Saghosho Dhartharashtraणां हृदयानि व्यधारयत् नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलोभ्य nunadayan. The call of the conscious sunk deep into the Kauravan hearts, sending a ripple of fear even in their greatest stalwarts. So fearsome, a shudder, so fearsome, a shudders spread through the ground. Even the mighty skies proliferated and reverberated the terrible sound. So this looked like the sound is now being reflected in the skies also. And here he says this conscious, this Shankanada of the conscious, struck a chord of fear in the hearts of the Kauravans. And the skies also felt like shaking, the grounds were also shaking. Anybody? What do you think is the reason? That the Kauravans had fear in their heart. Anybody?
Um, it's Dharma Gosham actually. So the people on the side of Adharma actually feel the pinch of that noise. It's
They feel it, no? It's like they get haunted by their wrong deeds only, no? People who do wrong inside of their hearts, they know. Outside they'll show I have not done anything wrong. Some people cheat other people. They behave in a very
Yeah,
wrong
the
manner, but
conscience, basically.
yeah, guilty conscience, isn't
The
it?
conscience
Absolutely.
power.
Yes. You see, here Dhritarashtra's side, I mean, we can say now they are Dhritarashtra's side only. Duryodhana's side, he says everybody has come to die for him. They have not come to die or fight for a just cause, isn't it? But here, knowing that they are outnumbered, so many kings, so many of them consciously came with that red like what fear of nothing to lose. We are fighting for the right cause. It's all right. That is why we had so many our soldiers also. Jai Bhavani, they would say and go attack the enemy. Whether it is one, whether it is 100, how many ever soldiers are there on the other side? Yes. Okay, Kavita says Kauravas also did not expect this entry. They felt, yeah, it would be different, but right now, this fear has come in. Let us continue. अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धातराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः. Observing the Kauravan combative stance, Arjuna, whose chariot bore the flag of the legendary Anjaneya, readied to battle by raising and lifting his divine bow, and equipped his quiver with deathly arrows to let go. So Arjuna, he is ready. Yes, Lalita ji has said many would have been fearing for their lives, fearing for death. He said, I don't want to go this way. And who is Arjuna? Arjuna is a master archer, isn't it? From far off, he can send arrows with surgical precision. They'll pierce the heart of the enemy, they'll pierce the strongest armor. That was his skill. So our Arjuna is ready. He is now observed the stance of the Kauravan army. He says, Acha, today you have selected this Vyuharachana against me. Arjuna has already fought so many wars. Anybody knows this name of Arjuna called Parantapa? Yes? Parantapa, one of the names of Arjuna. Anyone? It means harasser of enemies. When Arjuna would go, one man army, we would something like that. Arjuna is enough. Many people would run away. Oh, Arjuna is in the battle. I am not fighting. I'm going to go. Oh, I'm going to leave the battlefield. That was Arjuna. That was the skill. That was the reputation of Arjuna. Mahabaho, Dhananjaya, Gudakesha, so many such names. Yes, Vidisha ji says they have experienced a lot of experiences on their side. Their flag had the legendary Anjaneya. They call it Kapi Dhwaja. Kapi means one another. Kapi Dhwaja. Anybody knows the story about it?
It
Why
was
suddenly
Hanuman.
Arjun? Yeah. Yes,
Hanuman
Vinitha. Yeah.
who said that I will be with you on your flag. Hanuman had
Yes.
promised Bhima.
His presence, isn't it? His presence would be felt. I will be present, and that was a symbolism of the presence of whom? Who is Hanuman? Bhimarupi, Maharudra, Vajra Hanuman Maruti. So powerful he is. The very Rudra himself. Arjuna himself was like Rudric force when his arrows would be so powerful. And here Hanuman's presence is there. That is the Arjuna ready, and he started searching for the arrows so that he is going to target the opponents. Now comes the next line. Rishikesham tada vakyam idamaha mahipate Arjuna uvacha senayoru bhayor madhye ratham sthapaya mechuta. O king, then to the divine charioteer Krishna, the following words were spoken by Arjuna. Between the two armies, I request you to take our chariot into the battlefield's center for my sake. He says, O charioteer, take my chariot to the center of the battlefield. Is this a death wish? Is it a death wish? He has to go into the center of the battlefield. What does it indicate? This Arjuna's dialogue, he is telling Krishna, take my chariot to the center of the battlefield. Why is that? Or what do you think? Does it
Is
indicate
that a neutral
confidence?
ground?
Yeah.
He wants to
That-
gauge, basically,
He
gauge
wants to
what is there
see.
around. Yeah.
Yes, yes, Reshma. He wants to gauge what is around. And what do you think about the confidence level in Arjuna? Is it low
At
or is
that
it?
point of time, yes, it was when
It
he
looks
said it,
quite. It looks
confident.
quite high, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
One more thing I want to ask. He is ordering Krishna, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take my chariot to the center. Now, isn't it slightly arrogant?
It's more like a film, where chalo, I'm
Chalo.
ready.
Yes, I am ready and you take it. He's not saying, show me the
Yes.
way. He's saying he's confident in his strength. He is thinking,
Yeah.
chalo, I have it all in my control now. Boss, take the chariot there. Let me see my opponents. He's not asked for counsel, isn't it, right now? He's given instruction. He's given instruction to the
Probably
Sarathi.
Krishna must be saying, yeah, chalo, आगे जाने के बाद देखते हैं.
Yes, yes, probably. I think we also have some dialogues with our friends also, isn't it? Some of our friends. Don't worry, I'll show you. I'll show that person. Take me there. You know, this person will not speak one
Yes.
word in front of the other person. But initially, there's confidence. Well, something like that. But right now, Arjuna is fully confident, fully aware, and fully conscious also. Yes, so many. Somebody gave a calculation that around 7 lakh soldiers were more. It's very difficult to identify how is it. But knowing very well whom he is facing, we see Arjuna ready to fight, fully confident. Let me go to the center. Who is there? It's not breaking news, isn't it? He knows who is on the other side. Dronacharya is going to be there. All of it, he has made a plan already. Chalo, if I have to fight Dronacharya today, this is his plus point, this is his minus point. I should focus on this. Already, they have already done a lot of strategies before the battle. So right now, we see confidence. He explains then. It's not arrogant like Duryodhana. He's explaining why he has asked Krishna to take it to the center. He says, Yavadeta niriksheham योद्धुकामान् अवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् तस्मिन् रण समुद्यमे. Unless this warfield, I closely observe and see those who desire to wage the battle against me. I cannot assess the warrior's strength and might and decide the opponents who are worthy to fight. So unless this warfield, he says, unless I see from close, unless like Dronacharya has to put his eagle eyes and see who are the opponents, what is the rationale, unless I see from close who are my opponents, I cannot assess the strength. I cannot identify which side should I choose, who should my opponent be, who is worthy. He's saying, whom should I send packing now? This is what I want to choose. That is the confidence inside of Arjuna. But this is some confidence we should also have when we are doing the right thing, no? We don't have to worry who is on the other side. This part is very good on Arjuna's side, that he's ready. Look at this. What does he say next? He says, Yotsamana na viksheham ya etetra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe yuddhe praya chikirshavaha. All those who have thus gathered here, I wish to see all the warriors from near. The alliance of well-wishers, the alliance of well-wishers that has combined to support the cause of Duryodhana's false mind. So he's very clear. He says, it's maybe my teacher, it may be my very close uncle, whoever is there. They have sided on the side of, we have gone to the side of adharma. Adharma means adharma only, isn't it? He says, I want to see all those people who have got carried away from the path of dharma, who are going on the wrong direction. Let me see how many are choosing to support the false cause of Duryodhana. We will look at two more shlokas and then we will conclude. Right now, one thing is sure, Arjuna is confident, Arjuna is very, very firm in his words also. Says, yes, I'm going to send them packing. Maybe not to Swargaloka also, somewhere else as well. Because they have chosen to walk on the path of adharma, supporting the false mind of Duryodhana. Sanjay Uvacha, Eva Mukto Rishikesho Gudakeshen Bharata Senayoru Bhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam. O Emperor, Sanjay said, as per the words of Arjuna, that were uttered to divine Krishna, who then drove their chariot magnificent between the two armies that were present. Krishna was like, okay, you want the chariot? I'll take it there. And what does it say? Here we see the first words of Krishna. Many people say it is the second adhyay that Krishna starts. But here actually in this adhyay, we see just small few words of Krishna. Bhishma Drona Pramukataha Sarvesham cha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. Facing Bhishma and Dronacharya, the commanders, and all the other kings and all the mighty leaders, the following words escaped the lips of Krishna. These are the Kurus you seek to battle. See, O Arjuna. He just told, take me to the center. Now, he didn't say, take me right in front of Dronacharya or take me right in front of Bhishma. Probably he was not specific in his instruction because Krishna has taken the chariot right in front of Guru Dronacharya and Bhishma. And he says, see, you want to fight, no? Your Kurus? These are your opponents. These are your Kurus who have gathered to fight you, to kill you. That is what he says. And this is where he stops. He just says this much. Krishna doesn't utter an extra word. He just says, these are the Kurus you have to battle. Arjuna said, take. Krishna is Sarathi. He says, okay, I will do what you say. Now here we stop today. This is where the, what we can say, ground is readied. All these characters will not come again in the Bhagavad Gita. There's going to be two characters only. Arjuna, Krishna. Once in a while, Sanjay will give a guest appearance. Dhritarashtra has done his part also. So Sanjay, that also will come later. But now it is Krishna and Arjuna. But this is the point where Arjuna is very confident. Arjuna the hero, Arjuna the champion, Arjuna the experienced one. And how is Arjuna? He's so experienced. His son is also experienced that way. You see, Arjuna's young child is also a grown-up man now, isn't it? He's also going to become a dad. So he's not just like a teenage child, emotional person. He's an archer. Archer already requires a great set of concentration. So he's not just an archer. He's the archer, the best amongst best. And he's ready. He's confident. He knows whose opponents are, and he's ready to fight. So with this, we will see what happens to Arjuna. Does this confidence remain, or does it change, or does it disappear?
I have a question. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt.
Yes, please. Yes, ma'am.
Krishnaji.
Yes, please.
So this is not a question, but an interesting, I should say, observation where you,
Yeah.
in your words, you have used this particular line. The following words escaped the lips of Krishna. So,
Huh.
what chosen words? Wonderful words. So, I just want your comment on this
Gee.
escaping of.
No, this is just, he's not put it with full, what we can say, the Bhagavad Gita has not started here. It's just,
Correct.
theek hai. It's a reactionary to Arjuna. Theek hai, go. We will see again Krishna speaking in second Adhyaya also, in the start. But that
Yes.
also will not be the real start of the pravachan of Bhagavad Gita. Pravachan of Bhagavad Gita requires something on Arjuna's side. That side has not yet come. So right now
Yes.
Gita's origin has, we will not say the full Ugam has taken place. But still everybody has this bad habit of blaming Krishna for everything, isn't it? So they say, no, see, Krishna said this line, no, that is why Arjuna is going to have a change. We don't
It
know.
sounded as if, he didn't want to
Yeah.
kind of, or rather save his words, but then for
Yes, no,
for
but God
for
also
next, but then
many times we see, we decide with our emotions, we decide our own things, we decide. You see, at least if we want to draw a lesson, let us not command God or let us not command our teachers or our guru or our
true,
Sarathi. When somebody is so experienced, are we going to be
true.
Duryodhana, arrogantly saying, do this, or are we going to ask counsel? Right now, Arjuna also is only 50%. He has not asked for the counsel, isn't
Correct,
it?
correct, correct,
He's only
correct.
said, he's spoken to Krishna, do this for me. Why? You have become Sarthi, now your job is to be driver, Gadi Chalao, something like that. Sarthi, take my vehicle there, take me there. He didn't ask, can I go here? Take me to the best place or give me your guidance. Arjuna has chosen Krishna for guidance only, isn't it? Or for his skill of being a Sarthi, for
Guided.
guidance only.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to be a Sarathi for life. A different type of direction is required for him. But right now, Arjuna has not realized it. So, if we can, before we complete, can somebody just tell some takeaways, take home points which can be useful for us? Because this is our entire purpose of the Gita study. Why you are spending a precious time in reading the scripture, why all of us are coming here, is because we want to draw a practical inference. What do we understand from this first adhyaya? Anybody? Any point, and we can all share it. You don't have to do the entire summary also. Each person can share one point which we can take home. So
Humility
we'll
is
have this
essential.
system every day. Yeah, yes, please.
Humility is essential.
What is essential, ma'am?
Humility,
Okay,
humbleness.
humility. Yeah, yeah. It is a sign of knowledge also, isn't it? Vidya dadati vinayam. Without it, your arrogance will show absence of wisdom only. All right. Anybody would like to add to what madam has said? Yeah. Yes, any other points?
Even if the side of dharma is small, it
Huh.
will cause fear in the minds of those on the side of adharma.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you are on the right, means see, sometimes it is always like this when the side of righteousness is always overpowered, isn't it? It always looks like you are outnumbered. Whenever you are doing a right thing, it looks like the forces, masses immediately accumulate on the wrong forces. What is higher truth? It sometimes appears like it's clouded. Sun is also, the brilliant sun is sometimes hidden by dark clouds. But it's hidden, isn't it? The clouds cannot destroy or engulf the sun. Then as time comes and it will appear. So that is one thing we must not get disturbed, at least. I think when we are doing something right, at times we are feeling, "Arey, am I alone? It's all right. It's all right. There is something, the spirit of justice, you must uphold it at all times." Okay, that is one more point which Vinita ji has said. Any other points you can think of from this adhyaya? So far, what we have seen?
Yeah, maybe like before we start our battle or fight against our opponents, we should closely analyze them and
Ah,
see their strength.
yes, yes. Observe, isn't it? Before entering into the entering, it is like entering into any field. You have to do what we call a survey, isn't it? Yes, that is one more thing. Now, I want to ask specifically in terms of Guru Dronacharya's plight. What do we see from that? What do we learn from it? Does Guru Dronacharya look great like a guru right now, or he doesn't look so great in the first adhyaya? Anybody?
So I think that here it shows a kind of, human nature or possibility that no
Yeah.
matter how, knowledgeable you are, you can make wrong decisions, you can go wrong in life.
Yeah,
So,
you can go wrong, or the consequences of taking wrong decisions, that your knowledge gets hidden. You have to now listen to somebody who is arrogant like Duryodhana also. When
Duryodhana,
you
yeah,
make a compromise, isn't it? When
true,
you make
true.
a compromise, your wisdom also. You see, great Guru Dronacharya, who everybody should just touch his feet and get Ashirwad. Nobody can dare to command him. But here you see this child who had grown up in front of him, who had learned how to, hold the weapon. He only thought everything. Now he has to listen. Look at all the other great ones. Look at Pitama Bhishma also. He has to become like, no, okay, I'll now listen. Whatever the Raja says, I will stand. Let other youngsters die for me. It's okay because it's Raja's wish. It's going against the spirit of everything, isn't it? So that is something. Many times it is said Mahabharata teaches us what we should not do. Gita will teach us what we have to do. What is the real meaning of dharma? What is something which is even transcending our morality, also transcending our own attachments? What is that dharma? It is called Satya Dharma. That we will be able to understand. So with this, I think this is one more point. Anybody wishes to add anything else? Any other point that you felt you can take home, after which we will enter into the adhyaya. Next part of this adhyaya only is going to become more practical. Now we had a lot of characters. We can tell bye-bye today only to the characters. They will not come again. So yes.
Guruji, I have
Yeah,
a
yes.
small request. Can you repeat the sloka twice? Because we can capture the words easily.
You want shloka twice, but it will take more time. Generally, I'm trying
Um,
to the
I
number of
know,
shloka.
but then we are trying to capture the words easily.
Ha ha ha. No, but this I will means there are some padachhedas available because of the shortage of time. No, because these sessions also. So I feel I'm going long and I'm taking a lot of time, but some people say are
Oh,
going quite
okay.
fast. But it will. We have 700 shlokas. Unfortunately, lot of
That's
shlokas,
true.
or fortunately, maybe we can say that we'll get more from the Gita that way. I'll try to read it slowly if you want. That I can do
Yeah,
instead of
at least
repeating
I can
twice.
mark it accordingly, and the
Yeah.
words can be marked properly.
Yeah. If you want, you can also search for this Padachhed of the Gita shlokas which are available.
Okay.
That you can online also you can find the breaking of the shloka. Our aim is because actually I know somebody who speaks the Gita shlokas in Sanskrit language for 1 hour per shloka
Oh,
in Sanskrit commentary. And he also feels he's doing it quite fast.
oh.
That so it is a beautiful language. It has got so many root words. What we'll try to do is I'll read the shloka once. The English I'll do it slowly so the words are clear. But we can just focus on the flow because many times the shlokas are connected, the previous one with the next one. Yes, dear?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, fine. Okay. Hari Om. So yes, let us conclude with the Shanti mantra. After which, if you have anything to say, you are welcome. Hari Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम तत्सत् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं जय श्री कृष्ण हरि ओम
Jai Shri Krishna, Hari Om.
हरि ओम नमस्ते
Hari Om.
जय
Hari
श्री
Om.
कृष्ण
Krishna.
Hari Om.
नमस्ते
Hari
Hari
Om, sir.
Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you very
ओके
much.
नमस्ते
Thank you very much.
थैंक यू
Hari Om.
हरि ओम
Hari Om.
हरि
Hari
ओम
Om. Hari Om.
हरि ओम
Hari Om
नमस्ते
ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
हरि ओम
Hari
जी
Om.
नमस्कार if any queries are there you are most welcome or we'll conclude